It's easy to advertise heat tools, but authenticity is questioned when it's natural. I believe that there is at least a common feeling in society where majority of people feel like they haven't gotten the most quality or most nicest salon care, or even when it comes to figuring out their hair or what's best for them. Even still today, in the 21st century, in the 2020 decade, we still have a huge problem with that. A lot of people feel like hairstylists are overpricing, or they can't really find something of good quality and a reasonable price. Some people may have gone through trauma, and some people just really feel like brand after brand after brand is coming out, but it's still the same formula, you know? It's time that all of this is put into language. You're watching my views on the hair industry. To whoever so seasons me, you are blessed and highly favored. Hello, everybody. My name is Eden E, and you're watching Excellence TV, where the spiritual excellence of the Lord always abides. Welcome to my YouTube channel if you're new, and welcome back if you're a returning subscriber. So, to kick off, I don't know, and at least by the time this video will be posted, it will at least be the beginning of March or the last day of February. I don't really know, but new horizons, new things are just. So let me just get into what my YouTube channel is about. I usually reintroduce a lot because I feel like with each video, each thumbnail as I'm evolving with my content, it's very important that people know what I'm all about and what I have to bring onto the plate. So here in this corner of my YouTube channel, I talk about childlike faith, which is very key to accepting the Word of God and maturing as a believer in Christ. Hair love, because I'm a hair enthusiast. I love all things hair care, hair business, hair industry, tips, tricks, anything, the science, everything, all about it. The bridge between the chemist and the licensed hairstylist, I forge it all to work. Yes. And also helping myself out as well. Inner beauty, because your fruits truly do shine from the inside out, and it's not so wise to put your physical looks as your worth as they change. It is what's inside that matters. Video essay style videos and more to come, and more that God will do here. So yes, as you can see as the title of this, as I've said before, this video took me a very, very long time to plan just to gather my thoughts. When it comes to my views on things of that sort, you know, I really need notes to guide me, bullet point, because making videos like this, I have to make sure that I'm speaking from the heart, and because views is it's not really research based, because if that means you're feeding off of what other people's views and their whatever sites are. So yes, and I also found that a lot of things such as this, people's concerns and their frustrations at what's going on in the hair industry as a whole needs to be put into language. And a few videos ago, I made my views on the Neo Backlash, a similar format to this video. I shared my honest views, and especially just being Afro-American in general, it's a lot. So yeah, before I get into this video, because I know I talked a lot, the verse of the day. This is usually something I do on my YouTube channel to introduce truth to the world, because the Word of God is life-changing, life-giving, and inspiring. So yep, here Eden goes with today or tonight's, whatever day or time you're watching this, verse of the day. Today's verse of the day comes from John chapter 16, verse 33, and it says, I have said all these things to you, that in me you may have peace. In the world you will have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. Jesus says, Amen. And this verse is probably the most powerful verse in the Bible because it Jesus is saying that no matter what tribulation you may face, because he has overcome the world, you can do all things through him who gives you strength. Any challenge that comes through your way, you can conquer it. And this is something that I need every day, that I equip myself with every day because I need God's strength, and so do you. So yeah, that's today's verse of the day. Enjoy the rest of the video. Thank you so much, Eden, for the verse of the day. I greatly appreciate it. Keep on going with that. So let's get into it. So the first thing I want to address here is hair products. Now, hair products in the shelves when you're going on about in your life. If you go to the personal care section, you will find the hair care. And one common thing or trend I noticed is that a lot of hair care products bombard you in the front about what it can do for your hair. Especially I feel like people fall to the hair growth thing. A lot of brands, I know you gotta make the moolah. I know inflation is happening, but a lot of people are being misled by buying products that promise them hair growth when reality is what you're actually putting into your body, and what you're doing with your hair in between weeks is what is going to really help you retain the length. No matter what, I think one important thing to know is that your hair follicles, they grow. That's what they do. That's how the body works. However, it's retaining the length that's important. That's where you're really going to see the growth over time. And when I see products that advertise falsely that this is going to do hair growth, it's going to accelerate everything, it's wrong. Because I honestly do feel like there are not enough people spreading more awareness about buying hair products based off of functionality and not marketing. And many times it could work, all right, it promises this and that, because everybody has a checkbox as to what they want a product to do for their hair, and there's nothing wrong with that. However, as time goes on and all these product lines are coming after product line after product line after product line, there comes a point where it's like, wait, but what is this actually doing for my hair? One last thing I want to note here before I move on to the next thing is expiration date on hair products. I don't know why, this is if you don't know, let me be the first to tell you that just like food and everything like that, things expire, including hair products. And as a matter of fact, hair products expire way faster than any of skincare. At least food expires faster, let's be for real. But hair products. The standard, at least for hair products, is usually 6 to 12 months. Specifically with leave-in conditioners, it's 12. And with shampoos, I believe that it's also 12. However, with gels, it is 6 months. And usually, at the back, I'll insert a picture on the screen. You usually see a little cap with the M on it and the number, and that usually tells you how much months in the year until it expires. And there are also some products that expire within 3 months. So if you find that a product's not really working, you might want to check the expiration date. Don't let that sit in wherever you're keeping your hair products. Very important. And if it helps, write down the date in which you got it, or if you're at least remember the month. Just keep that in mind and read the back of the label, and you see that 12 month, 6 month, 3 month sign. That's gonna help you not put expired product in your hair, because I made the mistake of using hair product that was expired, and I was wondering why I was flaking up. And yeah. So to sum up this little section right here, I believe that hair products, if brand owners, if not saying that all, but I feel like if most brand owners are really transparent about the ingredients and what it can actually do, I feel like there'll be less confusion and people trying to find what works for them. Another thing is that people don't know how to read the ingredients, and that's why I also feel the need to make videos about that as well, because I mean, how else are you supposed to know it's functional for your hair and you know your hair enjoys it? So yes, that is this section on hair products. Moving on to sponsorships and ads. Lately, especially in recent years, we've been hearing much talk about representation and, you know, just seeing more black people in hair ads. I was watching a few like documentaries back, like MTV shows and music awards and things, and I noticed that like between the ad breaks, most of the time it would be like Caucasian women in the commercials, and there's barely any black representation at the time, but now there is. But it seems to not even be enough today. Many brands such as Cantu and Shea Moisture have been called out and like kind of like canceled, especially Cantu. Like, let me talk about it. With sponsorships and ads, it seems that like, you know, everybody's so quick to grab the bag and like, oh yeah, because like, and it really helps you in your platform a lot, yeah. But then when the brand gets canceled, it's like, oh, nope. And there's also been a recent change in years with the way that hair products are advertised as well. I think Garnier Fructis is just an example, just for it as an example. Like, usually most of their ads are like voluminous, beautiful, like it'll show like the hair glistening in the sun and all that, and you're like, oh yeah, I want that. Which also ties into like my first point that I made before about hair products and marketing and how they do it, because that's how they market their product. They promise you voluminous, luscious, but really that takes consistency and time. Now, whew, I think that's all I have to say on the matter about sponsorships and ads. Actually, no, not just with hair products, but with wigs and weaves as well. Oh my goodness. Let me talk about it. Because the amount of story times that I've heard from people from getting scammed from wig companies is absolutely crazy. And I looked into research on that just to gather up how I viewed it. And it's like a lot of these wig companies are not, you know, especially like it doesn't matter like if you do not live in the US or you live in the UK or whatever country that you're in. If the wig or weave or extension, braiding, mesh, whatever you call it, if that is not originated in your country, do not partner up with them. Reject the sponsor, like, because it's like you don't know if you're going to get quality product because it's being shipped from a whole nother country that's not even manufactured in your own. So it's basically setting yourself up for scam, and I've seen this time and time again. And more of these brands are being created, and there's more wig companies to the point where it's very difficult to decipher which one is actually authentic and real. And I found that if the source is in the country, then that's already a checkbox off, because you don't have to worry about the shipping and if this money, like, you know, because I heard also seen that some brands use people to advertise the product, but they won't pay them. They're like, all right, representation, check. We got the people of color, check. We got the melanin, check. We got this person, check. Let's not pay them. Yeah, that's sketchy for real. And the fact that like there hasn't been any like big like tension and lawsuit against this stuff is actually like crazy. That's it's crazy. And also like I feel like this will go for anything in general, but specifically with hair, it's like you can never give a bad review either. Like when you find that something genuinely does not, you know, absorb too well in your hair, you know, or maybe this wig glue doesn't hold right, you know, it's like you're never allowed to say anything that you feel. It always has to be a good review, and then most likely you don't use that product on that. You were just trying to, you know, get the bank, trying to get, you know, whatever. Yeah, that is sponsorships and ads. Now, personally, I have not been sponsored yet, but I most definitely want to do it right. I don't want to just like partner up with a brand or whatever and not know its values and its terms of services and just go on with it because I'm getting sponsored. So keep that in mind for the future if you plan to stick around. That if a brand reaches out to me and they want to sponsor me or my YouTube channel, just know that if I accept the invitation, it will be something that I'm passionate about, and it will be something for the good and for the better, and something that I will actually use, because it's so easy to like get sponsored and then just throw everything away. So yeah, that's sponsorships and ads. Now moving on to celebrity hair care lines. My goodness. If anything that I've been seeing increasing is the amount of celebrity hair care lines that have been coming out in recent years, especially post-pandemic, where everybody was at home remedies, everything. That's when business was booming, especially for small business owners with hair care lines, because that it really helped during that time, during the pandemic. But the one thing that I see today in celebrity hair care lines is that I noticed that a lot, and this is I always say not all, because I don't want to assume it's all, because it's not. But I noticed that majority of celebrity hair care lines kind of go along the same lines. Like they say the same thing, like, I'm for you, I'm representing you. And I see it from like both sides, because a lot of celebrity hair care lines are also Black owned as well. So like their business vision is them standing in the gap for other African Americans and Afro Americans as well. That I'm here for you. This is for you. And I think that's great and all. But it kind of, I don't know. I mean, depending on what people other than the fact it's celebrity hair care line, the fragrance is nice and everything, but even if it brings that image that, oh, it's a celebrity hair care line, oh my gosh, the hype, this and that, third, it still comes down to functionality. Like, is this actually working on my hair? Like, is this worth a buck? Is this worth the hype? Is it worth the and that's what I'm noticing is a major problem. Like a lot of celebrity hair care lines are just like there's like, I'm not really fully articulated, but it's almost as if like they're massively being produced, such as other hair care lines that are not specifically have that celebrity image, So yeah, that's there's no shade to celebrity hair care lines. I honestly feel like it's still the same thing that I've said before with marketing and, hair products and functionality and reading ingredients. And, it's like still the same thing, and it feels like we're not really getting anywhere. Hopefully that made sense. I'm just trying to do my best as I go on. Second to last point, white owned versus Black owned. I already know I'm about to hit some nerves, because this is probably the most frustrating thing that I've noticed in the hair industry and seen in light in social media, that if it's not Black owned, don't trust it. Ooh, oh my goodness. I cannot tell you. It really, that doesn't make me feel good. Because it's like, if I find something that's even better than something that Black owned, it's like, let's lift it up. It's like, why am I being asked to, or why are people pushing people to that look like me to only pursue Black owned products? And I understand for the support, yeah, but that doesn't mean that you can't explore other options as well. Again, and I really want to say this, but like, just because a hair product or line is Black owned does not mean that it's reliable. Which is a mindset that everyone should have, because as a consumer, when it comes to buying hair product, you can't really expect everything that you see to be true. And just because the person behind it looks just like you, it's wrong to put them on a pedestal and rely on them when you can't really hold people to a perfect standard and expect it to be authentic. it does not mean that it's reliable. And I say this to say because Aussie is not black owned, and yet it has the most diverse and amazingly fragranted one of the best functional hair care lines I've ever seen on the market, ranging from straight wavy all the way to afro textured hair. The best, and it's not even black owned. Another brand that I want to put out there, I think that a lot of people don't know about, is 1212 Beauty. Is black owned, and they make hair products for all hair types. So that should already say enough. There should be no reason why there should be a black owned versus white owned. And I saw that with the Cantu and the Shea Moisture thing, but I gave Cantu a chance and I realized that their little repairing conditioner, once I realized how to read ingredients and I was looking at the conditioner, I was like, hey yo, I'm about to use it in my wash day, in my wash time. I'm about to put that in my hair, and ooh. I was looking at the cationic conditioners and the humectants and the emollients, and I was like, yes. Now I'm like, I can't believe that I was following the trend to not use these products. Like, does enough even need to be said about that? Last thing, transparency and the overuse of authenticity. I think we need to review the definition of what being authentic actually is, especially when it comes to the hair industry as a whole, and transparency. Now, the definition of authenticity is an adjective for authentic, and it means genuine way that things have been done. So that also ties into transparency, which is, it means easy for others to see what actions are performed, and it requires accountability and openness. And hair care services can also be brought into this conversation because there should be no reason why you should be charged for having your natural hair and you having to go to the store to get the hair for the licensed, trained hairstylist and receiving bad treatment, not even being able to get the desired hairstyle, overpricing, rudeness, all types of things. And it's like, you know, these days, I don't know if it's inflation or what, but it seems that a lot of people are just jumping into doing hair instead of, like, we see few people who are licensed, and I think that's showing here in this new age today. We have to admit that the hair care industry, or the hair industry as a whole, has a problem with transparency. Why is it that we have to get scammed? Why is it that nothing is clear? Why is it that even till the day this 2023, there's still like a huge margin of us that don't even know how to shop for hair care products? We look at what it says at the front, it checks our boxes, and yet we're still jumping from product to product to product to product to product. So just to find that something that we're looking for. You know, and that's the main thing I want to pull together is my views on the hair industry. There are not enough people telling you how to use their product. And while in the ads and everything they may tell you it does this and voluptuous and that, but you know, I feel like the hair science is also lacking too. Because they're like, when it comes to formulating products in general, when it comes to hair care and skincare, there is science behind it. And I think because that part is heavily missing is the reason why there's a lot of misleading information on social media about hair. And I truly believe that it shouldn't be a problem, and that for everyone should have easy access to be educated about how to shop for hair products and just learning more about their hair in general. I can say personally for me, the reason why I love all things hair is because I used to hate it, and once I started embracing what God gave me, like, it opened so many doors for me in my life, and YouTube is an outlet for me to share that with a lot of people and with you, viewer. I love talking about hair. I love doing research. I love testing out products. I love trying products. I love my hair regimen and just trying to learn new things, what works, what doesn't work, what I can improve on, all those things. And I love it. Yeah, that's the end of this video. I hope that made sense. I was trying to wrap everything together. Hopefully it comes out well. So yes, if you like what you see here, don't forget to subscribe, like, turn on post notifications for updates. Don't forget to check the link description down below, and of course share this video to someone you think will like it. Alright, I am Eden E, and you just watched Excellence TV. Bye bye.